welcome. And a reminder, the next meeting will be November 19th. Be virtual like this, I'm sure, unless miracles happen between now and then. And I'm just going to go straight into it. We're a little behind anyway. The first thing on the agenda is the Beaverton Police Department. And I don't think Wilson's the right name. But
yeah, I'll have that fixed next time.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead and introduce yourself and go ahead with your presentation.
Yeah, so I'm Officer Klein with the Beaverton Police Department. I'm currently assigned as a school resource officer, and I believe I'm actually taking over for Officer Wilson's position with this NAC. So I know that there was a couple questions that Sergeant Kramer wanted me to address, as far as like if anyone had questions with like body-worn cameras or the 8 Can't Wait initiative. And we just moved into the new police department. So if you have any questions with that, we do have a lot of information on the city website, but as well as if you have any questions, I can answer those hopefully right now. So does anybody have any questions about any of those topics that I mentioned?
I guess not.
And just to let folks, aside from Gail in the audience, know that if you do have a question or you would like to make a comment, you're welcome to use the raise hand feature, and I'll go ahead and temporarily unmute your microphone so that you can ask your question or share your comment. You're also welcome to use the chat feature that's available in Zoom, or the Q&A feature as well. So I'll be monitoring all of those.
Okay, and one other thing, normally when Officer Wilson came by, she had the crime statistics for the last you have on record for the Greenway area. So if you could bring that next time. Yeah,
and next thing I can bring that, but I can tell you, things have actually been fairly slow, and obviously with the fires and things, it's been everyone's just kind of hunkered down. So in a way, that's a good thing. But I'll definitely have the crime statistics for you, and again, our public information officer has been doing an amazing job updating the police officer portion of the city website. So if you want to take a look there, I'm a terrible actor, but I'm in the body worn camera video. So if you guys want to take a look and have any questions for him too, he's really doing a great job adding a lot of information.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. And we'll just go on to the next one, try to catch up here. And that's a THPRD update. And we do have a new representative, which is Catherine Ellis, and she's going to give us this month's update. So go ahead.
Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for having me tonight. I am taking over from Keith Watson, who used to be your THPRD representative. Something uniquely to know about me is I'm the center supervisor over at the Conestoga Recreation and Aquatic Center. So I was very happy to be placed with this NAC because you are all so close to where I work. So if you ever have any comments or questions about Conestoga specifically, just know that that's my specific department and background that I'm coming to you all today. So I had chatted with Jim ahead of time over email and kind of asked him, what kind of information are you looking for out of THPRD? And there's 4 very specific talking points that hopefully will interest everybody today, or at least keep the conversations going that Keith had been having with you all. Bruce Barbarash, as many of you may know, does run our natural resource department. And I do understand that there is a lot of interest about the Fano Creek Trail and also about the crossing. So if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of read off a little bit of a script of some information he gave me about the beavers and also about free fitness in the park and some things that have been happening at the Greenway Park. And then I'm going to transition into a couple of things that are happening around the district. So the first big one is about the Shoals Ferry crossing. So we wanted to let y'all know that the Shoals Ferry crossing survey did close a few weeks ago, and we received about 500 comments. A majority of the people supported an at-road crossing similar to the one at Hall Boulevard on the north end of the park.
520016.
So our next step is to review those comments, to adjust the proposal we have, and to move into the design and construction phase, but that's once we can find funding. So the partners are also working on improving the undercrossing by raising the path, which will keep it out of the high water more often. And we do want everyone to know that the Clean Water Services has a website where you can go and view the trail conditions before you go to visit that section of the trail. And we are in the design and permitting process for that undercrossing. And we do expect to do the construction next spring and summer of 2021. Staff are continuing to monitor and occasionally do have to modify the habitats and dams in order to keep the main Fano Creek Trail on the west side of the park as dry as possible due to the beavers. Per the concept plan though, staff do not conduct work to regularly keep our loops and our trails dry, but we do want you to know that we do actively seek out funding in order to do a proposed walkway on the north loop of the trail. We had a 2019 grant that we did go for, but it was not approved, but we will continue to look for opportunities to fund that boardwalk as they present themselves. The other thing to let you know is that we did work closely with the Beaverton School District Safe Routes to School program. And at Greenway, on one of the basketball courts, we have installed a temporary traffic safety playground. And you can go onto our website and find more information about what that real fun, unique opportunity is for the kids with their bikes and to begin to learn kind of traffic safety and what all that means. We also wanted to let you know, specifically being close to Greenway Park, is Tualatin Hills is doing free fitness classes in the park all the way through the end of October. And Greenway happens to be one of the parks where we're regularly holding classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon until 12:45 p.m. It's specifically a boot camp class on those 2 days, but Tualatin Hills does have free fitness classes in the park 7 days a week. You can go onto our website and you can take a look at where all those are across Beaverton and then what types of fitness classes they're running. They're doing everything from yoga to boot camp, which is kind of one of the most intense ones that's right in the backyard at Greenway. So that's the stuff specific to what I know goes on around Greenway. But the other things to share with you real quick about what's happening at Tualatin Hills, which is very exciting, is both the Conestoga Recreation and Aquatic Center, the Tualatin Hills Athletic Center, and the Babbitt Hornstein Tennis Center are now all open for reserved programs. So in those three centers, you're gonna obviously find some tennis courts available, but we also have some badminton, pickleball, and ping pong going on at the athletic center, as well as their walking track. And they are, for the first time ever, starting to offer fitness classes out of that location. And they are also doing some weight room reservations out of the athletic center as well. Conestoga is open to the weight room that we have and some additional fitness classes. And Conestoga, as well as the Cedar Hills Recreation Center, are also preparing on Monday to welcome some kids in to do out-of-school care. So we have classrooms that we've set aside and we'll be taking the kids for 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and helping them through their schoolwork for parents who can't do that at home right now. The other things to let you all know is that we did get a community psyche grant from Washington County. So coming up very soon into the fall, we do plan to do some really great community events. They're going to include things like drive-in movies, a drive-through Halloween parade event, and some neighborhood concerts and pop-up youth sports. So again, all of that will be online, but with that grant, we do have the opportunity. It's also what is helping to fund the free fitness in the park to get ourselves back out in our safe way that's still following all the rules for everybody in our neighborhoods. And then the last thing that we're really excited to share is that we did take on a talking wall project. It was in collaboration with the Sunset High School and also the Color Outside the Line organization, which is dedicated to supporting youth artists. And we have 4 murals specifically around Black Lives Matter and social justice that are going in at the Sunset Sports Complex. So again, you can go online and find some more pictures once all of those are up. And if you're someone who ever visits the Sunset Sports Complex, feel free to check that out and know it was a really great organization we partnered with. And a big shout out and thank you to the Sunset High School students who helped us to do that. So that's kind of a big overview of everything I have to do with y'all today. And I can certainly take any questions. If I don't have the exact answer, because it might be outside of my purview, I will happily take down your name and phone number and pass you on to the right person if I don't have the right answer to your question for you. So with that, were there any questions?
Yeah, thank you so much, Catherine. There's a question, where in Greenway Park is the boot camp for THPRD?
That's a really great question. And actually, if you allow me to be nimble real quick, I've got our website pulled up so that I could take a look and see if they gave us any specific. You know what? It just says Greenway Park. So I have to apologize. I have not been to it myself yet, but if I can get the name and phone number of the person who was interested in that. I do understand Greenway is a very long linear park and we could be getting to it from many different places. So I would be happy to take the name and phone number of the person interested in that and get you that back.
Sure, if Mike and Peggy would like to provide their contact information, I can send that to you, Catherine, in a follow-up email. See, Mike, you've sent me your phone number. I'll go ahead and send that to Catherine in a follow-up email. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks.
Any more questions? Okay, well, thanks a lot, Catherine. Worked out really good. Now we go into city update, and this is Franziska that's going to do that. And there is a lot happening in the next 6 months, I'll say. So it's going to be an interesting time around here. Anyway, go ahead, Franziska.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. So hi, my name is Franziska Rose. I'm the Public Involvement Coordinator with the City of Beaverton. I work in the neighborhood program with Miles Glowacki, who I'm sure many of you are familiar with. We've been very, very busy in this time of COVID, navigating the new virtual platform and supporting all of the NACs and the boards and commissions going virtual. So we have had extra duties as a result of that. So I'll be working with Miles to make sure that the tech issues that happen tonight don't happen the next time around. So I apologize for that. But in terms of the September news, so I just have a couple of big updates. The first one is in reference to community listening sessions. So the city hired an outside racial equity consultant to support the development of listening and dialogue sessions between the community and city focused on policing and public safety. To kick off this process, a series of 4 90-minute conversations for community organizations to participate in were held. The first of one occurred August 19th. Back in June, the City Council passed a resolution denouncing systemic racism and committed to eliminate racism in city structures and practices, to work toward the elimination of institutional racism in our country, and to improve the lived experiences of all people of color. During the summer, City Council held 4 work sessions to better understand current police policies and practices. Outcomes are expected to include the development of a framework to move forward in understanding the city's roles and residents' experiences around policing, public safety, health, race, and accountability, as well as research and proposed changes to city policies that would address systemic racism. The consultant held a series of meetings with invited individuals and community groups without city staff or officials present to better understand needs, background, and desired outcomes. And you can visit beavertonoregon.gov/beheard for more on these conversations, as well as updates as they become available. And I'll go ahead and post all of the links that I'll reference in the chat so that folks can easily access that. Beaverton Welcoming Week. Beaverton is celebrating currently right now our 6th year of Welcoming Week. That started September 12th and goes through September 20th under the theme of Creating Home Together. Welcoming Week is an annual series of events bringing together immigrants, refugees, and US-born residents to raise awareness of the benefits of welcoming everyone. This year, the city is proud to partner with 8 community organizations through grants to support virtual and in-person opportunities for cultural exchange. Events will include storytelling, music and cultural celebrations, dance and cooking workshops, small business support, and so much more. Visit beavertonoregon.gov/welcoming week for a calendar of events and details. And there are events happening all through this weekend. So definitely some more action to take part in. And lastly, last but not least, the new city charter. So Beaverton's new city charter becomes operational January 1st, 2021, and brings with it changes to the city's structure and form of government. A series of activities to guide implementation is underway, such as preparations for the November 2020 election to fill open elected positions and community engagement to support city manager recruitment. Hiring of an interim city manager to support the transition is being coordinated with support from an outside firm for professional recruitment services and to ensure best practices during the hiring process, such as proceeding with a diversity, equity, and inclusion lens. Development of the interim city manager candidate profile is expected to be concluded in September, followed by the job posting, interviews, and selection, culminating in an appointment in December with a start date of January 1st, 2021. The appointment of a regular city manager is expected to be completed in the first half of next year after community and staff engagement. And for more information about the new city charter, answers to frequently asked questions, and the latest news, visit beavertonoregon.gov/charter. And I'll just note that on that website is also an infographic that I helped develop that delineates the new roles and responsibilities of the mayor, city council, and the new city manager under the new charter. Because I know for folks, what will the new mayor be doing? What will the mayor be doing under the new city charter, right? We'll still have a full-time mayor, but the job duties will look different. What does the city manager do? Some of those questions are addressed. So if anybody has any questions that I can help answer at this time, I would be more than happy to. All right, well, I'll go ahead and put those links in the chat so that folks can explore those web pages at their convenience, but that is all I have got for you folks tonight.
Okay, you sent a thing the other day on that, the focus groups or whatever they are, and there was sort of a draft of what the consultant has done. And I suggest everybody read that very thoroughly, because there were two items in there I was concerned about. One of them is part of the recommendations was actually defunding the police department, at least to some extent. And the other was to sort of reduce penalties on juveniles so that it doesn't show after they're a certain age. But again, there's ways to do that now. So you might want to read that carefully. And I was a little concerned about the way to make comments was to do city mail. Now, is it even going to go where we want it to go? I mean, that's the question I got for you, Franziska.
What's the question that you had for me?
Okay, on the, they did the draft report, right? And then it said for comments, it gave the email of city mail. And I thought there should be more dedicated place to respond to your thoughts on it. It's a pretty long thing and it's a draft stage, but.
Yeah, so that's a really great question. And community engagement around both the interim city manager recruitment and the regular city manager. They're not calling it a permanent city manager, but the regular city manager recruitment are things that we in the public engagement division are providing feedback on for how to make sure that that's a really meaningful experience for the community. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that. I will say though that as for what you're referring to, Jim, is the class specifications for the interim city manager.
No, I'm referring to the consultant firm did a draft, sort of a final report type thing. And
are you talking about regarding the recommendations for city council with respect to police accountability?
Well, yeah, so ones where they met with human resources and stuff like that, I can't go back and look at my email and take a chance on losing everything here, but you sent us it in an email not too long ago. And
yeah, the email that I had sent out was in reference to a survey that HR had drafted regarding feedback on the interim city manager.
No, that wasn't it. It was something else.
Then I'm not sure that the email came from me. I've only sent to.
Well, that may be true. It may not have come from you.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
But it was, some parts were a little disturbing to me, and I wanted to make comments, but I was just concerned about having to comment to City Mail.
Sure. Yeah, if you can forward me that email, I
Yeah.
would be more than happy to look into it for you. Because yeah, me personally, I send emails to boards and commission members. For the NAC folks, that comes from Miles. But the only 2 emails that I have sent in reference to anything to boards and commissions have been regarding that interim city manager recruitment, and then just a general, about boards and commissions recruitment.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah, no, I appreciate that. I know that what we've been hearing from folks a lot is, making sure that feedback opportunities are more accessible. I know that what we've heard is some frustration that there's not, for example, individual email addresses of city councilors, that there's just the generic city mail. So I definitely hear that feedback, and I know that that's being looked at. But yes, please send me that email, Jim, so that I can look into that and figure out who I might be able to direct you more specifically to provide feedback to.
Yeah, I just, my concern was when it goes to blanks to the broad city mail, it may or may not get to where it should go. I mean,
Yeah, there is a staff member assigned to oversee that mailbox, but I certainly appreciate the concern about having a generic mailbox versus a specific city staff member.
I'll look through my phone while I'm listening to some of the other.
Sure,
Maybe
yeah.
I can find email there. Anyway, let's go ahead. The next presenter is Leah, and I'm not even gonna try to say all your last name. I'll let you introduce yourself there. She's from the Safe Routes to School, and which right now they don't go to school, or not physical school, but she'll explain what they're doing and everything. Anyway, go ahead, Leah.
And Leah, I have your presentation.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. I wasn't quite sure. Yeah, so I sent a couple slides in. So if we could start that, and I'll introduce myself. Thank you. I'm Leah Biado-Luis, the Beaverton Safe Routes to School Coordinator for the Beaverton School District. And in case you aren't familiar with Beaverton Safe Routes to School, we are a grant-funded program with a goal to increase opportunities for students to walk and roll to school. So I wanted to share with you a brief overview of how our program has shifted during the COVID-19 pandemic in order to continue meeting the needs of our families, students, and larger community. And is that slideshow going?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull that up here. I just got it open.
Thank you.
Right, so, and I will go ahead. All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Great, all right, well, let me know when you want me to advance the slides for you.
Great, and I will put my contact information and our website in the chat when I'm finished as well, but we can go to the next slide. So since last March, when in-person learning was canceled, we have created new online resources, activities, and events to continue to encourage students to learn and practice pedestrian and bicycle safety. We've held 3 virtual walk and roll challenges for all district students K through 12. Our virtual challenges encourage students to take trips, active trips in their neighborhood, following current COVID-19 safety protocols. So we're telling them to stay 6 feet away from those not in their households, to wear face coverings when that's not possible. And students are rewarded with safety gear like clip-on flashing safety lights and bike helmets. We plan to continue this model of encouragement events this fall, starting with our biggest event of the year, which is coming up. It's International Walk and Roll Day, and it's on October 7th. Students will be receiving a link to a Google form where they can indicate their school and grade, their name for an entry into our raffle, and they can mark how they participated that day, whether they walked or took a bike ride, rode their scooter, etc. We have what's showing on this slide, our new remote resource guide, which is on our website. It includes route ideas, safety information, including video links for things like how to cross the street or how to fit a helmet properly, as well as fun activity ideas for families to do while they're out walking or biking. Next slide. And I was excited to hear Catherine from Tualatin Hills Park and Rec mention that this summer we partnered with them to complete our first traffic safety playground. So a traffic safety playground is basically a miniature roadway. This is a temporary setup, obviously utilizing the basketball play pad there. It's an opportunity for students to practice their rules of the road in a safe, no contact space. Students can practice bike hand signals and crossing the street, as well as just enjoy their own creative ways to play. This traffic playground was a joint project. It's located on the Fano Creek Trail in Greenway Park. And information about the space, including a map and ideas for use, can all be found on our website as well as THPRD. Go ahead, next slide. Thank you. And I just wanted to thank you for allowing me to share with the group today and open it up to any questions you might have. Okay. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to share. And like I said, as soon as I click my mute button, I'll hop in the chat and put my contact and our website information.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Leah. And I was gonna mention one thing to Franziska. You know, when I saw that information, it may have been on Facebook, because there's a lot of information on Facebook, and it may have given me the place to go to.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but come to think of it, Beaverton does put a lot of information on Facebook, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, by all means, if you are able to share with me, you know, what it is that you're referring to, I can definitely look into it. So
Yeah, now I don't know, I can, it was Facebook.
okay,
It's gone.
yeah.
It's gone. I have somebody that puts an awful lot of stuff in my news feed, and you know, they don't keep it all. Okay, let's go ahead to Jennifer's favorite thing here, the COVID Pet Cup. And Jen's going to let us know what's going on. It should be finalized because it was supposed to start in a couple of days. So go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, right. And if I think I can share my screen, right, Franziska, if I just select that option?
Yeah, now that you're a co-host, you can definitely share your screen.
I'll stay. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Jenn Barker. I'm a vice chair here at Greenway NAC, and we've been working all summer on planning an event sponsored primarily by our neighborhood group, but we're also partnering with South Beaverton, their neighborhood group as well, to organize an event that will allow families similar to the program we just heard about to get out and enjoy the Greenway Park as well as surrounding areas. If you were at our meeting last time, I presented a little bit of information about this as to what we were going to present to get a grant from the city. We did do that and received that, as well as received some volunteer hours from the South Beaverton NAC. So I'm going to share my screen real quick just to do a little quick recap of that, of what this event really is. Let me see if I can, I'm going to switch back and forth with my glasses here. So what the event is really a self-paced virtual walk that you can do with a pet and your family members. And it's going to be a variety of different ways that you can participate. A 1K or a 5K walk or a run, or if you choose instead, you can participate by uploading a pet trick video onto the Greenway NAC Facebook page, or participate by uploading a photo of your pet either in costume or a look-alike, if you look like your pet. It's really open that way to all pets. It could include cats, ferrets, rabbits, fish, birds, whatever it is you may have. And so it gives an opportunity for everybody to participate. There's also we're recommending, because there's no fee to participate, that if you choose, you could choose to donate to a animal rescue charity of your choosing to help make the participation more meaningful and affect our community of those agencies. All participants that register will be entered into a drawing for prizes, and we're soliciting prizes from a lot of local small businesses in our neighborhood and Beaverton at large. And again, the reason we decided to do this event was to create community during this time where we're feeling somewhat isolated. We wanted it to be flexible and inclusive, family-oriented, and bring up pet awareness. So the timing, as Jim said, this is starting this weekend on Sunday, September 20th, and we're going to run it through October 18th. And that's because, again, we want it to be safe during this time where people can participate at their own pace, at their own time, so there aren't large gatherings of groups. Also, it's to run in conjunction and celebrate some different pet-themed, I guess, holidays or events. So September 20th through 27th is National Pet Week. September 23rd is Dogs in Politics Day, which I have no idea what that is. October is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, and October 1st through 6th is National Walk Your Dog Week. So, so it's just kind of a way to bring some awareness to that four-legged family member of yours. And participation really doesn't have to just be in the Greenway Park. We will be posting on Facebook, on the Greenway NAC Facebook, some suggested routes in different neighborhoods throughout Beaverton where you can do your walks. It's really at your own choosing and your own pace for the walk itself. We are looking for volunteers to help us to promote the event. We have set up a separate Google email account, and we do have somebody that's administering that to answer any questions that come up. So, but she may need some help. We also would like some help in soliciting different businesses and getting prizes, and we will be purchasing those prizes. We are sending out postcards, and then we'll need some help at the end of the event to help contact the prize winners. So that's a little bit about the event. The way that you can register is on the City of Beaverton website, and I'll post the link here in the chat. It is set up on Eventbrite to register. Again, there's no fee for registering. It's really just the way for us to get your contact info to make sure you're entered in the prize drawings. And really, this will also be a way to get updates for information throughout the event. We'll be posting different tips and for different walks and exercises that you can do, reminders about the event, as well as just kind of some incentives along the way. And of course, the Greenway NAC Facebook page is another way that you can get more information about the event. So if you have any questions, I'll also provide my email address. That's also a way to contact me if you're interested in volunteering and helping throughout the event to promote it and or any of the other roles. So we're excited about this. This is like a big event for us during this time that's been a little challenging to organize events, but we think it's a great way to promote not only our NAC, but the entire family events that everyone can have fun participating in. That's all I have, unless anybody has any questions. I'll post this link real quick too on the chat.
So Jen, I had a question. This is Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
So I just was wondering, it sounds like a fun event, but I'm assuming if you're going to be proposing folks walk in neighborhood parks, that when we invite them to do that, that we follow THPRD rules about pets and parks. So can whatever written materials we send out or invitations, can we make sure that we do that?
Absolutely, yes. We'll ensure to reinforce all rules that pets be leashed at all times, as well as cleaning up after your pets as well. Yes.
Thank you.
Just really quick, I'm just so folks know, I'm copying and repasting stuff in the chat. I do this all the time for panelists. It auto defaults to say when you're chatting to only panelists. So I am copying and pasting it so that all of our attendees can see it too.
Right. Oops, Jim, you're on mute, Jim.
Okay, I might add that this is for cats also. I mean, the cats may not do the walk good, but the cute videos and the costumes and stuff like that, they're all eligible, and well, there's rewards available for the best of everything, I guess. So it's something to keep track of. But make sure the comments go to, if you have questions or anything, go to Jen, because I don't know that much about it. And her and Bridget pretty much did a lot of the legwork on this. So, and it sounds like it'd be a fun event. Okay, let me go on. We're almost caught up. Okay, the Adopt a Road project, I decided we're just going to wait till this COVID crisis is resolved. I don't think the city wants us meeting in any kind of group like that anyway. And there actually was a small amount of tree damage along our little cleanup corridor. Not too bad, but I'm assuming the city will eventually get out and pick that up. Local land use issues, there's not a lot going on, but there was a home occupation permit or application on Robbins Road for a Conestoga hair salon, and there was no opposition, and it's been approved past the appeal time. And that's the only one. The only other thing is they sent it to me, this was a while ago, but where ODOC right now has their storage area, where if you're coming off 217 on the hall or coming off at 217 southbound, there's a big site where they have rock and stuff like that. Anyway, they call it the stockpile grounds. Anyway, they're going to build a 7,000 square foot shed structure there, and I got a thing on that. So, but it's actually in the bow snap. Any questions on anything on that local land use issues? It's pretty quiet right now in our area. Okay, neighborhood concerns or visitor comments. Anybody have any concerns? Going by pretty fast. Beaverton Committee for BCCI report. I don't know if is Travis here tonight? Okay, well, we don't have that all. Yeah, I don't remember myself what happened at the last meeting, so we'll just let that go for tonight. Okay, and under old business, I got Greenway NAC potential projects for 2021, but I thought it might be a little bit early to try to figure it out because we have no idea when this COVID thing is going to come to a finale, or they're going to get a vaccine that works and is safe. But anybody have any proposals? So I got a couple of volunteers to help with projects this summer. The teenage boy and another group that I think actually charges. But I just told me we can't do anything this year. Anyway, any new business? Yes. Anybody else have anything to say? Well, I guess the meeting is adjourned. Remember, the next meeting will be November 19th. That will also be election. We'll get it figured out how we're going to do that exactly by then. So